diving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everybody's having a good day. And got the grandkids today. I'm ready to take them home. We had them overnight. Man, you know, it's funny because I used to get a lot of anxiety when my grandkids would come over. And I think it had a lot to do with I'm trying to keep them up. I want them all happy, all up your butt, things like that. I've noticed over the last 6 months how that anxiety has just kind of gone away, and now I don't get any. Sometimes what we are feeling is something that we need to listen to. And sometimes, because I'm going to tell you what, I ignored it because why would I feel anxious around my grandkids? Okay, so I knew that had something to do with me, right? And what was it? It was fear. It was fear, guys. I lost my one person. That's okay. More people will show up. Don't be surprised if we have special guests too. So what was that about? Well, it was about fear. And fear drives so many things that it's ridiculous, man. And this one's probably going to be a little bit shorter, though, today. So let's go ahead and jump right on in. Let's do that. Oh, obviously, I am off of my game here. If you're here, please say hello. Or if you're watching the rewatch, please say hello. You guys, Facebook does do certain things, and they give you certain things the more people interact and things like that. They really like to see that interaction and stuff. So if you ever have a topic, please feel free to bring it up. Make sure that it relates to recovery. I've gotten some topics like who should be president. No. No. So, all right. Oh, and it's 1:00. Everybody's churching and meetings and stuff. Gosh, Dion. We are taught in the program in 12 steps that the chief activator of our defects has been self-centered fear. So what is a chief activator? Okay, and it's a trigger. That's what a chief activator is. It's the main trigger that you have, right? And for us, yeah, God, there's 100 forms, but essentially what it comes down to is it's fear that we're not going to get what it is that we think we should get, or we're not getting what we want, or maybe we're not getting the attention that we need from somebody or want from somebody, right? Or it might be, what will others think of me? Then there's other types of fear. Will I go out and drink again? Will this happen? Remember, we talked about the what ifs the other day and what happens when we get into what ifs, okay? What ifs are a fear. Well, what if I lose my job? What if my wife leaves me, right? Those are fears. Mainly fear that we would lose something we already possessed or that we would fail to get something we demanded. So with my grandkids, what was the fear there? The fear was that I wasn't going to be able to take care of them like I should be able to. That was my fear. And it turns out pretty good at it. I love being a grandpa. I love it. Living on the basis of unsatisfied demands. Man, what a horrible life to live. I hated that. I was always unsatisfied. I think 90% of my life I was unsatisfied. I really got to think on that though, because I actually have as much sobriety as I did drinking. Altogether, I have 17 years. So getting closer. That's way off topic. Therefore, we are taught no peace will be ours unless we find a means of producing these demands. Oh, that's pretty fucked up to do to yourself, isn't it? So I'm not going to have any peace until I find these overwhelming demands that I'm never going to be able to apply or meet or anything. Have I become entirely ready to have God remove all my defects of character? Well, that leads us to step 3, and we read selfishness, self-centered, page 62 a lot. So I turn to the 12 by 12 this time. We realize that the word dependence is as distasteful to many psychiatrists and psychologists as it is to alcoholics. Like our professional friends, we too are aware that there are wrong forms of dependence. Yes, we have experienced many of them. No adult man or woman, for example, should be in too much emotional dependence upon a parent. I found that out. Okay. I have a granddaughter. She's very attached to me. Okay. In fact, I had to convince her to let me come down here and do this. Okay. What I wanted to do was bring her down and make her feel better, but she's got to get through this. That, and it's kind of a distraction, So I had to let her know that she needed to go spend time with her sister, and that was healthy, and that I'm still here, and that I will always love her. They should have been weaned long before. If they have not been, they should wake up to the fact. Absolutely. You need to get to a point in your life where you stop blaming your parents for who you are. Okay. All right. And this is a tough one. I still go through it. I need my mommy. I'm 50 years old and I still need my mommy. Okay. But I no longer depend on her for my emotional sobriety. This very form of faulty dependence has caused many a rebellious alcoholic to conclude that dependence of any sort must be intolerably damaging. But dependence upon AA group or a higher power hasn't produced any baleful results. And I'm going to skip a little bit. Then it is explained that other steps in AA program can be practiced with success only when step 3 is given a determined and persistent trial. This statement may surprise newcomers who have experienced nothing but constant deflation and growing conviction that human will is of no value whatsoever. They have become persuaded, and rightly so, that many problems besides alcohol will not yield to headlong assault powered by the individual alone. But now it appears that there are certain things which only the individual can do. All by himself, in the light of his own circumstances, he needs to develop a quality of willingness. When he acquires willingness, he is the only one who can make the decision to exert himself. Trying to do this as an act of his own will. All of the 12 steps require sustained and personal exertion to conform to the principles, and so we trust in God's will. It is when we try to make our will conform with God's, that we begin to use it correctly. It says rightly, but English has changed. To all of us, this was the most wonderful revelation. Our whole trouble had been the misuse of willpower. We had tried to bombard our problems with it instead of attempting to bring it into agreement with God's intention for us. So problems aren't bad. They're a good reason to grow, is what they are. To make this increasingly possible is the purpose of AA's 12 step. And step 3 opens the door. Once we have come into agreement with these ideas, it is really easy to begin practice of step 3. In all times of emotional disturbance or indecision, we can pause, ask for quiet, and in stillness simply say, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Thy will, not mine, be done. Today I pray, may I make no unrealistic demands on life, which, because of their grandiosity, cannot be met. May I place no excessive demands on others, which, when they are not fulfilled, leave me disappointed and let down. Today I'll remember the setup for a letdown. Right? And we've kind of been talking about this all week, haven't we? Manufactured problems, the what ifs, right? We've been talking about this all week, and it's kind of coming to a conclusion on it right there. And what did it come down to? Willingness, right? Are you willing, right? And not to set yourself up for a letdown. Set yourself up to succeed, right? You can plan your plan, but don't plan the result, okay? Because God's got something much better for you than what you think you're going to get. And if you're too busy because you didn't get your new shoes and you're upset about that because that's what you were expecting or whatever, when God's got a nice set of Dockers waiting for you or something, you know? Right? You got to watch the forest for the trees. So, all right, guys, have a great day. Don't forget we got the noon meeting tomorrow. How it works is how it is what it's called right now. But we're going to be having a group conscious on Wednesday. So who knows? That may all change. So it is not within my control. Remember, we talked about that too this week. letting, when you create something, you got to let it go. Got to let it go, man. Let other people enjoy it on their own freaking terms, not yours. Fantastic. All right, guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for the people that popped in here and there who are slightly interested. We'll see you guys tomorrow for daily reflection. I love you guys. Peace out and have a day. Bye.